Now there are some guidelines to select suitable number of slots. Okay, so we have to prefer, or we have to follow that guidelines. So first one, or the first line guideline you need to select is that the number of slots should be so selected to give integral number of slots per pole per phase. Now here integral number means that number should be an integer. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. That number should not be a fraction. Then and then only that number of slots you can select. So suppose you have selected 12 slots. Now if you are going to calculate number of slots per pole per phase, now 12 slots, suppose there are 2 poles, so 12 by 2, 6, and number of phase 3. So this their slots per pole per phase is nothing but 2. So this is the integer number. So you can select 12 slots for your induction motor, but you can't select 13 because it will give you the fractional number of slots per pole per phase. So remember, this is the first and most important guideline to follow while designing the induction motor. So it must give an integral number of slots per pole per phase. Now the slot pitch at air gap surface shall be between 15 to 25 mm for open slots and less than 15 mm for semi-enclosed slots. Now what is meant by slot pitch? You must know the slot pitch. So slot pitch is nothing but distance between two consecutive slots. So slot pitch is given by YSS. So air gap surface pi d or 2 pi r divided by total slots. That means what? Total perimeter of your stator bore divided by number of slots. Then as you all know, you will get the stator slot pitch. That means the distance between the two consecutive slots. It is nothing but stator slot pitch. So it should be between 15 to 25 mm for open slots, and it should less than 15 mm for semi enclosed slot. Now this is the second guideline. Now the third guideline, the number of conductors per slot must be an even integer for double layer winding. As we are going, if you are installing double layer winding, your number of conductors per slot must be an even integer. This is also an important guideline. So remember these guidelines while designing the motor. Now total number of stator winding conductors. So how to calculate total number of stator winding conductors? By using this simple formula: number of phases into number of coil sides into number of turns per phase. Now remember, number of turns per phase we have already calculated. Now number of phases, as we have calculated only number of turns per phase, that is a per phase value. That means what? You have to multiply it by number of phases, 3. And now what is this? Number of coil sides. Now always remember, for a coil we are having 2 coil sides. Here pay attention, here in this diagram, this is one coil, this is first coil side, and this one is second coil side. So remember, for every coil you are having 2 coil sides. That's why we are multiplying here with the 2. So 3 into 2 into number of turns per phase. So thus number of conductors per slot. Now this value or this equation will give you total number of conductors, and if you have to calculate number of conductors per slot, so you have to divide by SS. SS is nothing but stator slot, total stator slots. So ZSS is nothing but total number of conductors per slot, which is nothing but, or which can be calculated by 3 into 2 into TS divided by total stator slots. So this equation will give you the number of conductors